George Barna Group did some research on the health of Christianity. 62% of Protestants are born again. 22% of Catholics are born again. His definition of born again, somebody's confessed their sins, they've asked Jesus to forgive them, and based on Jesus' righteousness and his forgiveness, they expect to spend eternity with Jesus. Hey, based on that, I hope everybody here is a born-again follower of Jesus. All right? The problem is that when you put these together, only about half of the people in North America are born again with the biblical worldview. Means half of the people that are showing up at the church have no idea where they stand with God. That's not good. But then it got worse because he asked another couple of questions. He wanted to know how many of them had a biblical worldview. And biblical worldview, they believe in absolute moral truth. The Bible is the standard of the moral truth. God exists and he is loving. Sinless life of Christ. Existence of Satan. Salvation is a gift, it is not earned. Personal responsibility to share the gospel, and a reliability on Scripture. Reliability of Scripture. So, how many of those born-again believers would have a biblical worldview and would say yes to all 8 of those things? Only 9%. 9% of 50% gives you about 5 out of 100 Christians in North America that are born again and have a biblical worldview. Remember, the Bible said at the time of the end, there would be really bad troubles within Christianity. So are we on track? In a sad sort of way, we're right on track for where God said we would be. That's bad news, but the bad news points to the good news. I'm going to do that over and over. Bad news points to good news. Because God said where we would be, and the good news is that means we're getting really close to him setting up his kingdom. So don't be discouraged by the things you see going on. Focus in on Jesus and his kingdom coming. But here's some counsel for all of us. Therefore, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. Do you know, if Christians were really living for Christ, there would be a tremendous rise in the number of Christians in our world. Gandhi said, I would consider being a Christian if it weren't for Christians. I like your Jesus, but I'm not so sure about his followers. Okay, so if you're a Christian, let's focus on being 24/7 Christians in everything we do. Yeah, I know Christians still mess up on occasion, but they can confess what they've done wrong and just keep on moving for Jesus, loving people.